Hey, I'm back with No Frills Hi-Fi. We've got another toy here today. So today we're going to be looking at some Schiit. This is from Schiit Audio. It's spelled S-C-H-I-I-T. Definitely going to have some fun with that, like the manufacturer does. But today I've got a phono preamp. It's called the Skoll, S-K-O-L-L. I've already cut the tape on it. So, phono preamp, if you're not familiar, well, if you're not familiar, you probably don't need it, but it's for a turntable. Turntables have very low output, so you need something to step that up before you get to the amplifier. So, let's see. It's got a little remote here. Honestly, I mean, for a preamp, probably not going to use the remote a whole lot. Typically, once I get it set up, that's kind of how it stays. But it is nice that they have that, so you can kind of, sit back in your chair and go through the settings. Got a Schiit Audio. See, I wasn't lying. That's how you say it. Got a little sticker here, and the instructions. So normally I throw the instructions aside. With these higher end things like this, and I mean, it's not, this is $399, $400 for a preamp that does what this one does is not bad, but I would encourage you to look at the instructions on these. I'm really bad about not doing that, but is what it is. So this amp, it does a lot of stuff. It can be used for just about any kind of cartridge out there. There may be some specialty ones there. I'm sure somebody will correct me, but whether you have moving magnet, moving coil, low or high output moving coil, doesn't matter. This will work with it. This has a lot of adjustment. So here it is, and this is the power cord right here. And you can see the box is a little torn. If you buy one new, it's not going to be torn. These are loaner units that I get that they send me to review. I do have to send them back. Unfortunately, they don't let me keep them. But here it is. That's the power supply. And let's take a look. So right away, I can tell you this is a pretty heavy piece of equipment here, which I like. Heavy implies quality. I can tell you the casing looks really nice. Got some nice little vent holes on either side. Got some little feet there. As I've said many times before, I don't really like to stack units, but this one probably could be stacked. I just like to give it as much airflow as I possibly can. So in the back here, we've got power plugs in right there. This on and off switch, which feels pretty serious. I mean, that really lets you know it's clicking on and off. Input, of course, left and right RCA. That would come straight from the turntable. And then we have the ground over here for the turntable. You can use either a spade plug or just stick the bare wire. There's a little hole in that, and turn that down on it. And you could also use a banana plug to plug into that, which I really love that. You also have, for input, you have left and right balanced input if your turntable does that. And then for the output, you have pretty much the same, RCA and balanced. So really, I mean, it gives you a lot of connectivity options there, which is nice because, typically when you're first starting out, you're using RCA. Maybe you get a little more advanced table and you want to go with the XLR balanced input and output, or maybe you have a lower end amp at first that uses the RCA and then you switch to XLR later. So it's nice to have something that you don't have to replace. If you were to buy this would probably be the last one that you would need. Really, my only gripe about it, I guess, is that it doesn't have volume control. Not the end of the world, but if you're getting an amp that also doesn't have volume control. There's no way to really use this. It would just be wide open all the time. So one of them would have to have volume control. I just prefer it on my preamp because then I can stick my preamp directly to my amps. And then if I'm running, say, two mono amps, I don't have to try to adjust the volume left and right separately. I can do that together. So that's why I wish it did have that. But if you're using this with an amp that does have volume control, it's not really a big deal. I do like that it doesn't have, balance and fader and treble and bass and all that stuff. I just don't really need all that most of the time. I just like listening to it the way that it is. But if that's your thing, then maybe you want to get something else to go with this, like an equalizer or something like that. But still, for $3.99, this thing has a ton of options. You can adjust the load, you can adjust the resistance. That's what these buttons do right here. So it does work with a wide variety of cartridges. It lets you know exactly what setting you're on right here and right here. It does also have a, what is that, LF, I'm going to have to look at my cheat sheet right here. Yeah, so LF filter. So the LF filter, basically, if you have like a warp record or something like that, that'll kind of take that sound out of it. But pretty basic, which I like. It does a lot of stuff, but there's not a lot to it. I like the simplicity. There's not, there's some buttons there, but there's no dials that can go bad. Like I said before, that may be a positive or a negative depending on what type of amp that you're using it with, what type of system you're putting it in. But I can tell you that it would be worth getting an extra component with a volume knob just to be able to get the quality and versatility that this thing offers. Check it out on their website. They have all the specs on there. I'm not a big spec guy. I kind of believe in making sure they're compatible with other components in your system. But other than that, I believe in, seeing how they sound. So I'll do another review at some point where I actually play with this so you can kind of see what it sounds like. But yeah, check it out. Check out my other videos. And don't forget to like and subscribe so I can do more of this. I appreciate it, and I'll talk to you later.